Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from theuptrend.com with today's look at North American stock market trends. In the pre-market this morning, the Nasdaq is leading the markets lower. Nasdaq futures down over 200 points in the pre-market, so we are looking for some selling in the tech sector on Wednesday morning. Now, a lot of people are calling yesterday's rally the McRib rally. Typically, McDonald's brings the McRib back after pork prices have been really low. So let's assume that they started buying pork back here in late September, early October. And as you can see, prices have gone up. Recently, an early warning signal went off there. McDonald's itself, the stock moved higher, making a new high for this move on Tuesday. Now let's go back to some basics here. In a bull market, you want to be buying the dips, and you'll find that the market doesn't spend a lot of time being oversold. In a bear market, of course, people want to sell the rips, and you'll find that the market does not spend a lot of time being overbought. And right now, the market is fairly overbought when we look at the percentage of stocks currently above their 5-day moving average. And of course, we've been talking about the Dow leading the market higher. For the Dow, and I know there's only 30 stocks, but 100% of them are currently above their 5-day moving average. And as you can see, as you look down through the other major indices, all the way down to the TSX, they're all up at the top of the range. The TSX 60 up at 95%. The TSX Composite below 90%, but getting up at the top of the range. So markets don't have to automatically pull back from this point. They could continue to move higher, they could pull back, or they could actually trade sideways. A lot of times you'll see stocks or markets work off an overbought condition by trading sideways, and that's also true of an oversold condition. So here we are, we're up at the top of the range again on a short-term basis. Of course, we're in a bear market, so we're looking for selling opportunities. So keep an eye. This could be the top for this particular move. That doesn't mean that it's a major top, just that the market might stop and pause at this point. Now, in the pre-market, there's lots of earnings out. Recently, Boeing came out. It's down a little, not even trading below yesterday's low. Then there's Boston Scientific is trading below the lower channel line. We've got ServiceNow trading below yesterday's low. So yesterday it generated a buy signal. You come in this morning. If this is a stock you were waiting for a buy signal, then you probably want to wait to the next close above the upper channel line. At the same time, look back at what happened in the last couple of buy signals, and they only lasted a couple of days. This is pretty typical for what's been going on. So I'm not overly excited about taking too many buy signals here. Of course, we've got the big earnings out from last night. We've got Google trading below the lower channel line, and we've got Microsoft trading slightly below the lower channel line. Of course, the numbers you see in the pre-market are going to be different than these numbers. Looking at the VIX came down yesterday. It did not break through the 2813 level. We're still looking for it to break out of the range. We're still on a sell signal here that's supportive for higher stock prices. Maybe not on Wednesday, but overall, the VIX is still supportive for higher stock prices. Things would change on Wednesday if the VIX were to close above 3184. Now let's look at those mega trends. We've been watching the US dollar index come down over the past few days. We've got the euro back on a buy signal, Canadian dollars on a buy signal, and the British pound is on a buy signal. Looking at interest rates, we saw bond yields pull back. We saw bonds move up yesterday. No change in trends so far. Of course, a lot of people are, rather excited that if yields come down and bonds go up, that could be beneficial for the stock market. It also could be a sign of economic weakness, which may not help the stock market. So just be aware of that. There's no clear-cut correlation here. At the present time, the fact that bonds move up and yields come down may or may not help the stock market. We don't know for sure. Copper is still trading in the channel, nothing going on there. You can see the bearish reversal day and the pros giving up control. Notice how flat this line is representing the public. The public really isn't involved in the copper market, the copper futures market that much. That's also true for gold futures. It is not true for the gold ETFs like the GLD. It is true for the futures contracts though. So gold still on a sell signal here, ending yesterday up $3.30. Silver still holding on to a buy signal. No change there. Then finishing off, looking at the energy sector, we've got crude oil still on a sell signal, trading up yesterday. A close above 86.74 would give us a buy signal on Wednesday, and that is certainly possible. And it's certainly possible we could get a new buy signal for natural gas with a close above $6.74 on Wednesday. Okay, folks, that's all for this morning's presentation. We're certainly looking for some weakness in the tech sector on Wednesday morning. Will that mark the top for this particular move for the market? Only time will tell. Enjoy the rest of your day. Next time you'll hear my voices on Thursday morning, and at that time we'll take a closer look at the Canadian stock market.